Go.
Hi, Ms. Seglin here with Middle School Language Arts 7. Today we are going over the questions for after 20 years from the Holt textbook, and this is applying your skills on page 395. So check your work as I review the questions. So number one is the reading focus and the quick check. The question is, what does the police officer do after saying good night to the man in the doorway? Okay, the proper response would be along these lines. He finds a plainclothes policeman to pretend to be Jimmy. Okay, so that actually, the guy at the beginning who is the police officer is actually Jimmy, and then he leaves and get a plainclothes officer to arrest Bob. 2, read with a purpose. Why does the fact that both men showed up say about their friendship? How hard do you think it was for Wells to turn in his friend? So a response would be, obviously they both value their friendship. Bob says he came 1,000 miles from Chicago to meet with Jimmy, and clearly it was hard for Jimmy Wells to turn in his friend because he couldn't make the arrest and had to get that plainclothes officer to do it for him. 3 we are going to skip because this was predictions you were supposed to make while you were reading to kind of see if you predicted that, that cop was Jimmy. 4, this is literary focus analysis. Interpret. What might Jimmy Wells have been thinking between the time he recognized Bob as a wanted man and the time he left to find the plainclothes officer? A possible response would be he's probably trying to figure out what to do and just dealing with the fact that his friend's a criminal, okay? And maybe deciding, like, should I have him arrested, shouldn't I? Should I have told him it was me, or shouldn't I? That's what we could make an inference. 5, interpret. In a sentence or 2, state the theme of the story. What truth about loyalty versus honesty does the story reveal to you? Theme being the message. In some situations, honesty is more important than personal loyalty. Okay, so in the story, Jimmy could have said to Bob, hey, get out of here, Chicago wants you, flee. He didn't have to do the right thing. So I would say anything along the lines of, doing the right thing can be difficult, would be a good possible theme. 6, literary perspectives. O. Henry's writings are said to have, quote, feelings of compassion for the weakness of man, unquote. Using examples from this story, explain why you agree or disagree. That would be opinion, but I would say I agree. O. Henry makes us sympathize with Jimmy's conflict. He knows his friend is a wanted criminal. He wants to do the right thing by arresting him, but he can't bring himself to arrest his friend, so he has to get the plainclothes policeman to do it for him, showing us that he had what we would call internal conflict. 7, this is literary skills, omniscient point of view, infer. O. Henry chose to tell his story from the omniscient point of view. What relevant details would the reader have known and not known if Silky Bob had told the story from the first person point of view? Well, if the reader would have known that Bob was a criminal if we knew his thoughts. So, we wouldn't have seen the action in the same way. And we would have missed out on any of the foreshadowing at the end. But if we would have, known the story from Bob's point of view, we would not have been surprised that he was a wanted criminal. Or if it would have been from Jimmy's point of view, we would have known that, he is Jimmy, not just some random police officer. 8, literary skills review, foreshadowing, interpret. Details about Bob's appearance and behavior warn you that he may be dishonest. What clues hint at or foreshadow something sinister about Bob? Bob's face, the way it's described, his scar, the diamond, and his quickness to speak to the police officer suggest a sinister nature. I also think that the watch is a clue, the way he talks, just starts randomly talking to the cop, offering up information not asked for, maybe a clue that he's over explaining. 9, connect. When did you realize who the police officer was? Find and explain the first clue to his identity. Some people might say they knew when he asked how long Bob was waiting for his friend, because there's no reason for him to ask that unless he was Jimmy. Honestly, when I was reading, I did not pick up on that. And that was just one clue that it was Jimmy, because why would the police officer ask that? Okay, so that is it for 1 through 9. Correct your work. If you have any questions, please email me or leave a comment below. Don't be afraid to hit the bell and give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Thanks for watching.